All right, looks like the video is up. I don't know if you're still there, Kenny, but hello. Yeah, it's late. Coming up at 8 o'clock here, so gotta get underway. Hello, radio from the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Yeah, you gotta love RADIO. A lot of radio going on today with the what's called Field Day, the annual event for amateur radio operators to get out and then test their portability, I guess, if you will. And we'll see how that works tonight. Maybe we'll get some Field Day check-ins from near and far out. The Old Tube Radio Network here, it seems to be beaconing. I'm checking the items of interest to see if they're actually working. The sun is going down. We're not quite in the gray line yet, but just about to be, and we'll be checking in radios and the shortwave listeners as we commence here. So, what can I tell you? 27085 is where we are at. Oh, now I don't get the loop. So, what can I tell you? 27085. All right, where the loop is coming from. Hold on, I think I turned something on. Now I don't get the loop. So, what can I tell you? All right, only one of me is enough. When we get multiple radios, that's good. 27085 is the frequency of choice. That's channel 11. You can catch us there if you want to see if you can shoot the skip or maybe the local contacts. oldtuberadio.net is the streaming audio with some pictures of the radios and other things, and then, of course, the YouTube video that should be up and running over on the live stream, where there are a couple of people out waiting for waiting for the radios to happen. So while we have a chance and a nice quiet frequency, we'll get started with the SWL roll call, and we are looking for a 00. I believe that is 61. All right, thanks for having a good receiver and being able to hear me, and we've got you checked in. If I don't hear you on the next page 3, I'll get you checked in there as well.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
And you can see the progress of your check-ins by, if you're watching the video, seeing that you are called and checked in. Where's my list? My list went away. Here we go. So 00 is checked in. SWL1 is checked in. SWL2, Mr. OBP, who is on the video. Hello, Kevin. He said there's a couple of sunspots that should be rolling into view at some point. Let's see. Somebody said there's no audio on the net feed. I think I've got that. I think that's because the feed was up. So if there's something going on, let me know with that. But Mr. OBP, we do have you checked in, and you're sounding good on the Field Day today. I think I qualify as a 1 Delta. I'm a 1 Delta station. I did make a couple of Field Day contacts. Was it one on 15 meters and one on 20 meters and one on 10 meters? So I tried to get all of them. SWL3, I'm getting Rob a proxy check-in. I'm sure he's out doing a Field Day somewhere, maybe with the Clovis Amateur Radio Pioneers. SWL4. SWL5. Shortwave listener number 6. SWL7.
SWL7 checking in through the noise.
Uh-oh, you got the local noise. I was going to ask you if you tried any Field Day contacts, but maybe you've got too much QRM.
Yeah, I got a lot of it for some reason. I don't know what's on, but it's making a lot of noise.
Okay, well, hopefully you'll be able to track that down. I guess better yet is eliminate it. All right, got you checked in. At least my 20 over S9 signal helps.
Thank you.
All right, let's go up to Idaho, where it is warm. I think it's 90 degrees everywhere in Idaho, where it's not supposed to be, I think. SWL 10. That's Chrissy and Dwayne. They should be around. I'll keep an eye out for them. See what is up. Over to shortwave listener number 13. And I'll refresh the comments, so if you do come in on Facebook or one of the chat sites or whatever, I should be able to catch you at some point. We are going to SWL 14. SWL 16. Let me go to the big board and see if Charlie is up and running. He's right there, right in front of me on the video, checking in from Anoka, Minnesota. I'm not sure if I heard any Minnesota. I heard a lot of New York State. 20 meters was the busiest I have heard it all year. And there is Anoka right in the front row. Oh, I see. He's letting you do the cue cards. Letting you do the cue cards today. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. So thanks. Charlie's checking in. And SWL 17, that is Eric, who is out on field day somewhere. Let me listen. Let me make sure they didn't tune down here to see if they could catch us. SWL 17. I heard them last night on 75 meters, just barely. I could actually copy them better on the Starduster antenna than my 40-meter vertical up down there on 75. So, Eric, if you're listening, I've got you checked in. I said the guys might try it out from the LTR site up in the foothills above Fresno here. Over to SWL 18. KDA from the Facebook. I got Mikey checked in. SWL 19. Chet out there in Derby, New York, helping me with the setup today, getting everything in. They are down in the, I guess it's an orchestra pit. I don't know what that is. Right in front. It's right behind the camera here, so they can cue me in or make faces at me, trying to get me to trying to get me to laugh. That's an easy thing to do. Let's go over to SWL 20.
Number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54 also. And I'll be back with a radio 2 later.
All right, the radio you have there is sounding good. So I just realized I don't have a current tube radio list, so I'll have to go to the printer. I'll run to the printer at the break and get the tube radio list printed up, because I want to fill up all the spaces if we can. Thanks, Harvey. SWL 21, Mr. JT, the purveyor of Old Radio Night, who is now 10-8 from DX Land, and he says business was good tonight. The radio, what is let me go to the other page here. And looks like you guys were on late tonight. Cobra 25 and the NWSTWB Old Radio Night. Let me refresh. See if it'll call something up. Pull up some audio here on Old Radio Night, or any spot.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Is he open on Sunday, do you know?
And he's good.
Only open like 3 days a week now. But
using that Pride on the Air light down there on Channel 12. And said you were on tonight. Oh, you were on tonight honoring, I do not know the station, TJ360. So thanks for doing that in honor of TJ360 tonight on Old Radio Night.
Yeah, Tempo, maybe next Sunday me and White Dog can go up there.
That happens from the Wasama swamps of beautiful, South Carolina. Thanks, JT. Over to SWL 22. And SWL 23, who is probably listening somewhere, somehow, working the field day tonight in the category. I'm a 1 Delta. Mitch, 23 Skidoo is a 1 Sierra. That means he's working stations from his surfboard in the Monterey Bay. And I'm not sure exactly what he uses for an antenna or his power source, because that could change your category if you're actually using the red tide, or what did they do on Gilligan's Island if you're stirring your coconuts up there on the surfboard. The 23 Skidoo, you are checked in. You're also on, I got to bring up the other page. You're also up. We are also up on the Echolink link, which I sort of tested earlier. I'll test it again in just a moment here. Let's go over to SWL 24. Shortwave listener 25.
Hello, Dennis, 25, checking in.
All right, are you actually able to hear me out there tonight?
Yeah, Dennis, you sound good, and kind of nice to have a night off of playing music. So anyway, we're here for the old tube radio enjoyment, and congratulations on your 34 plus years of doing it. So anyway, back to you, Dennis.
Yeah, it has been a long time since the old Tube Radio Network has been on the air with all the radios, all the SWLs, all the various net controllers in and out of wherever we have been, and it is still going strong, and that's, of course, thanks to our shortwave listeners and tube radio operators, of which you are both. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis.
Make a few adjustments here, and I do have to turn the page. Let's try SWL 27.
All right, Dennis, don't do it. Don't reach for that FM crossband microphone. Number 27's checking in. 1 Delta, San Joaquin Valley.
All right, coolness. You know, I checked just prior to that to make sure that the audio was up, and I think it is. I mean, if I dial over here to the weather.
Fresno, Indian Wells Valley, Kern County.
Yeah, see, that's up. So we were up and ready, but you caught me before I made the faux pas live and direct on the video. You are sounding great, by the way, and I'm also a 1 Delta. Have you made many contacts today on field day? I made about 3.
Oh, I have about a dozen, but it got a little too warm out in Studio G, so I kind of gave it up. I'll keep going in the morning, though, and I'll do some tonight.
Yeah, it runs, what does it run till noon? Or was it? I should give UTC time, but it runs through tomorrow. So if you haven't got a chance to answer CQ Field Day or do a CQ Field Day, and you can go online, I think Google the ARRL, and it'll tell you what your number is. It's a designator operator and a class and where you're at. So good deal. Anyway, you're sounding good.
Roger, roger.
And there are many stations out. All the bands were good today. Everything was good. Even when 11 was in, I went up to 10 meters, and I was hearing the short, sporadic stuff. Guys out of the Bay. In fact, that's one of the contacts I made on 10 meters was some of the club stations out in the Bay Area. Interesting. Let's go over to SWL 28. Gary is right there. You know, Gary, the way the band has been, I am thinking that we might hear Sacramento. We might be able to dive into Sacramento. I've been hearing that distance, that 150-mile, 200-mile distance. It just, the RF cloudness never seems to get that way. Checking in, invited 2 new listeners, Max and Sam, up there in Salmon, Idaho. So let's have a great show and say hello to Sam and Max. Might be able to hear us whatever you're listening to, and occasionally Idaho pops in on the radio side as well. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, something we have been doing for 35 years to recreate the flavor of Citizen Band radio back during the days when the only thing you could do was buy those glow-in-the-dark tube radios, like an old tube television set. And the demeanor and how we did it. So you listen in tonight and you'll hear the classic radios, or think of it as you're at the corner hamburger stand on a Friday evening and you're watching those classic cars with the fins and the chrome and the big steering wheels that'll knock your eye out if you bang into them, and you know stuff like that. That's what we're doing. This is the driving the radios around the block and showing off the fins and chrome. So glad to have you aboard. Let's go over to, we've got a check-in for Mr. Loner. Gary is in. Let's try SWL 30, see if Dwayne is hanging out there. Hey, there's 10 and 30. Hi, Chrissy. I see you there. We'll get you and Dwayne checked in. You were probably sitting under the ice bucket. I was looking at the temperatures in Idaho all the way across the state, 90s, 90s, 90s. So I know it's a little bit warm up there. And they had what we have here. We have given you a prize. They're giving you a present, and that's the excessive heat warnings, which we have a lot of. But I know you guys don't have them up there that much. So thanks for checking in. Over to SWL 31. SWL 32. Shortwave listener 33, myself, the Jingle Singers, Bozo Control, whoever wants to come through tonight. We will check into the Bob and Steve show in just a little bit and find out what's happening over on the other side of the rack here in Studio B. And Mr. Railroader, SWL 34, out near Chicago. Wonder what's happened near Chi-Town tonight. Hello, Jimmy, if you're out there. And 23 Skidoo says, yeah, that's a Bozo. Well, Bozo Control gave me his little tie tack tonight. Said you're gonna wear the tie tonight, so it's not flopping around. So that's what's going on with that. What else? That's a lot of comments. I'll get to the comments here. Over to SWL 35. Mr. Bill, who is listening in at oldtuberadio.net from Cheyenne, Wyoming tonight. So thank you. Cool, Cheyenne. I don't even know what the temperature is out there, but I bet it's probably in the 70s. It might even be in the 80s. I don't know. If you guys got an excessive heat warming there in Cheyenne, that would not be good. I see Mr. Cobra, SWL 13, waving a hand. I didn't look at the right place, so we got you in. I checked in, Mike. I need a bigger desk. I need an extra hand. Charlie's in. Who else is jumping in with us tonight? We'll get to you. Let's go over to SWL 36. SWL 37.
SWL 37, and Dennis, you forgot one.
Let's see. I did 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Who did I forget over?
I didn't hear you check yourself in.
Oh, actually, I did that. I think we had Bozo Control, Honk the Proboscis.
I didn't hear it. Where was I at? All right, anyway, you're in. All right, I'm checking in. And do 1017 also.
I will do Mr. 1017, the Tower of Power, as well.
Thank you.
We're in the direct-to-net roll call. We've got the radios coming up after that. So stay tuned if you got a radio that you are warming up. Don't have to warm it up too much. I think it got up to 100, 101 today, 102. It's about 90-something outside. And yes, it is definitely cooler than that in the Radio Shack, I think. At least I've convinced myself that it is. SWL 38.
116 in Medford.
Oregon? I'll have to talk to Bill. Bill up in Canby. No wonder. And in fact, you know, he was up in the balcony. I looked earlier. Normally he's down in the front row at the door, so I understand he's up there under the air conditioning vent. So I don't have to explain yourself, Bill. I know what's going on. Let's try SWL 39. Like I was saying, Idaho was super warm today, too. It has been. SWL 40. And there is 40 checking in from the smoke plume. What is going on with the smoke plume? Normally you are down in the basement. So hopefully there's not too much smoke in the basement. Over to, I got to look at my chart. I should have everybody memorized by now. I'm doing this for so long. SWL 41, that is Mr. Road Dog 507, staying up late as always in New York, where the bands were sounding good. Where's the field day? I was hearing all sorts of New York stations.
One Foxtrot, November Tango X-ray QSL.
That's 20 meters, still going strong here.
Alpha 5, Juliet Romeo Sierra.
There's like 4 or 5 stations. It's almost like 38 lower. We have 5 stations talking all at once, and neither of them can hear anybody because they're all too far away and too close. SWL 41. Let's see. Let's go over to SWL 42.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR. Go ahead, please. Over.
Evening, Dennis 650 from atop Bald Mountain above Shaver Lake. Checking in early.
All right, 650. You are sounding good up there at Shaver Lake, where you you're a couple degrees cooler than we are down here in the Flatlands.
There's a little breeze up here, and it is nice. You guys have a good one. I'll check in with you next week, Dennis.
All right, thanks for stopping by on a Saturday evening to the old Tube Radio Network. Got you checked in. And hopefully we will all feel good at the end of the net. Let's see, SWL 43, Crazy Eddie.
Doing a proxy.
I got a proxy for Crazy Eddie. And then up to SWL 45. Hello, Paul. All right, sounding good. We got you checked in from up in North Fork. Stay cool, and we'll be chatting with you when the radios start glowing. Paul is in. Over to SWL 46. SWL 47, who surprised us last week from afar, so I will be listening. SWL 47. I still did a replay on that. It was so cool. It was like barely hear him, and he went and moved his antenna and came up a couple of dB. So he's a smart guy. He's where it's cool somewhere. He might be checking in. I'll give him a proxy for Mike. Let's try SWL 48. Shortwave listener 49.
Hello, Dennis. SWL 49er here, along with Sweet Country Mama checking in. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great night.
Yeah, Smitty and the Sweet Country Mama on the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Sounding good, and hopefully your noise level is such that you can do some radio here these days. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, thank you as always, Dennis.
Over to SWL 50. I talked to this guy when I was tuning up earlier, and he was sounding pretty good. Not sure if he's around right now. SWL 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
Oh, man, and he hooked up to the big antenna. I think when I talked to you last time, Dave, you were on the little antenna. You are definitely on the big antenna. Sounding good here in Midtown. 305 with the good audio. Let's go over to SWL 52. And shortwave listener 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53 checking in.
53 is checking in and sounding good doing it. Thanks for listening tonight.
Thank you.
Say hello to the stations listening on, as always, up there in the Moncks Corner, South Carolina, the unknown SWL. You might notice someone walking around with a bag on their head. Say hello to them. Hello to Carmen, California, Lucasville, Ohio, Canby, Oregon, getting to you. Hopefully it's a little cooler than what I've been hearing, but probably not. Boston, Mass, peeking up in the balcony tonight where there are good things going on, no doubt. Hello to Visalia, California. You guys sound good checking into the Ditch Banks net on Friday evenings here on 36 Lower. The big SWL station listening in from Woodland Park, Colorado, probably checking the field day as well. Hello to North Fork and, of course, our stations up there in Anoka and Derby, New York. Also, hello to, over on the video side, Levon is listening in, as he often does. Who else is out there tonight that we haven't said hello to yet? Keith, the Sierra Radio, possibly doing some, I don't know, some One Delta Field Day stuff. Hi, Keith. Thanks for jumping in tonight. Popcorn 913. I found a little bag of popcorn in the pantry when I was looking for something else. So I had that before the net tonight. That's why I'm feeling good. Thank you, 913. North Charleston. Because of the California heat. Yeah, we got the short sleeves tonight, but we got the tie and the bows. This, of course, is the official OTR shirt. It puts my SWL number and lets me know that I'm supposed to be doing net control and not somewhere else. See, when I have this on, I can't hide in the orchestra. I can't hide behind the bassoon. I have to get out in the air chair. A couple of stations will be coming up to you doing the check-in. And let me continue on. Page 3, SWL 54, Mr. Board Jammer on the virtual check-in. Over to SWL 55, M&M.
55, checking in.
All right, hope you found where the cool breeze is up there. I'm sure there's plenty more than we have down here. You're sounding good.
Thanks, that was last weekend.
Okay. Well, it is what it is. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
Over to in New York. There must be something that goes on when it turns Sunday morning there in New York, where all the stations say, let's check into the Old Tube Radio Network. Hello to Smarty out there in New York. 55 is in. Let's go over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. This is SWL 56.
Checking in the possibly One Delta modes and sounding good. Thanks for being on OTR tonight. SWL 57 is hanging out there. Mr. Brown Dog Audio in Central Kentucky. Thanks for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network, where we hope to have some Tube Radios checking in. Just back from the car show. Well, we are about to have a radio display show going on, but the car shows are always nice. Great turnout. I'm pleased to announce that I'm starting to see more and more CB's antennas floating around on vehicles. That is a good thing. I can't remember when the last time I saw a 102-inch whip that was actually probably connected with some coax on it. So that's a good thing. And it's a good time to get in if you want to shoot skip, because Cycle 25 is ready to go. Thank you, 57. Let's try SWL 58.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead.
24, checking in.
All right, 24 is in. Hope you are beating the heat, Joe, and thanks for listening.
It's too hot.
I have heard that a few times tonight. SWL 58. And Brown Dog in Kentucky. Do I have that? Yeah, Central Kentucky. I probably got you mixed up with, is it 42? Who's in New York. So thank you. Thank you for but it is here on the chart, WWS 1942. I'll put you in a different time zone. Let's go to SWL 59. And Mitch is saying, where's the pocket? You know, there is no pocket. I was going to bring the pocket protector, but it's stuck in the seersucker suit. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll grab it during the break and see if I can come up with a suitable sponsor. Of course, you know, OTR is sponsored by you, helping us out here for the last 35 years with your tube radios and such. Let's see, no 58, no 59. Let's try SWL 60.
Hello, Dennis, and thanks. Evening time to the fellows out there. SWL 60, checking in.
Sounding good. Good audio as usual, and the X, as they say, the X is in the square.
TEV, this is VK7 FOTS.
And let's see, a Victor Kilo. Let's jump over to the Echolink for a second and see, say hello to our New Zealand station. Hello from Kilowatt Bravo 6 Golf Foxtrot Delta. Jim, can you hear me on the Echolink from the OTR studios? Over.
Yeah, Roger. Dennis, I think it is KB6FG or GFD, and it's trouble reading the screen there. Yes, the name is Jim, located in Tasmania. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim, in Tasmania, where I believe it is, let's see, probably 13 hours difference. So good Sunday afternoon to you, I do believe. The Old Tube Radio Network, which you might be familiar with if you've checked some of the videos we're talking with and checking in those classic CB radios, and hopefully you have something similar to that where you're at. I don't know. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Mitch or Dennis, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, well, you could be possibly correct on that. With my call sign, it's a vanity call, and I use old-time radio quite often as part of the call. It's one of my old interests there, I do have a couple of older rigs, 50 years old, an FT101B, and of course I got a Kenwood. So, yeah, very good. One of my interests. So I was quite interested in your call sign there, Old Tube Radio Network. You might like to fill me in what happens on this channel there. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Dennis. Dennis is here. KB6GFD, the Old Tube Radio Network, is a group of 11-meter enthusiasts, CB radio, that got together about 35 years ago and said, let's grab a channel, hang out for a little bit, and fire up our classic tube radios, the way you might do with an old car show, you know, with those cars of the 50s and 60s. This was a show to put on radios of the 1950s and 60s and 70s from the Class D 11-meter Citizen Band radio service here in the U.S. of A, and we have been doing it now for about 35 years. We have listeners that join us like yourself, and tube radio operators. They'll be coming up in a few moments that will fire up the radios, and we'll chat with them and hopefully display some pictures of the radios over at, we are online at oldtuberadio.net, and there's also a live streaming video from YouTube as well. So thanks for joining us this evening. Over.
Yeah, Roger Dennis, KB6GFD, VK7FOTR, Tasmania, returning to you there. Okay, very good, all copied okay. It's very interesting. I might drop it again and have a bit of a chat to the group there. That's very good. And a hello to others on the group. You're correct about the time. Local time, he's 1:35 in the afternoon, so 13:35. It's the local time in Tasmania. I'm actually in Hobart, the capital city, at 10 minutes from the CBD. And it's rather cold today. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it's pretty cold. Got the heaters on there. Of course, we're going into a winter there. And but down in Tasmania, it's quite mild anyway. So it's usually about 8 to 15 degrees there. Back to you.
Yeah, we are in the middle. We just started summer, and so it's acting a lot like summer. So that's what we expect, and the tube radios warm things up, so we enjoy it all. Jim, thanks for joining us. You'll be able to, it'll be a little bit quiet on the Echolink. We may check in some stations occasionally, but if you go to oldtuberadio.net, you will hear the streaming live audio of the tube radios as they check in. And there's also a YouTube video link there. So, again, thanks for joining us. VK7 FOT from KB6GFD, and we're heading back to the net. Join us anytime. Over.
Yeah, Roger Dennis, KB6GFD, VK7FOT returning for a final there. Okay, well, thank you for returning to the call here. I would like to drop in another time and have a chat with some of your members there. I do have an interest in the old-time radios, and I quite enjoy programs from the golden years of radio in the United States, especially programs like Gunsmoke and The Saint and so forth. The Whistler is another one of my favourites, so really do enjoy the programs from that time period. Anyway, my friend, I'll go QRT now, and I'll say 7-3, and take care, and we'll drop in another time. So bye for now.
All right, 73, Jim, and yeah, this is basically, that's correct. When these radios were brand new, Gunsmoke and all those programs that you enjoy were on the air. So what people would do is watch the show, and after the show was over, retreat over to the other side of the room and have a chat on the Tube CB radio. And your 101B is one of the classic tube radios as well. I know they actually have a 11-meter crystal position. 73 to you from KB6GFD.
Yeah, Roger. See you 7-3.
All right, nice to chat with Jim there in Tasmania on the Echo Link. Intrigued, as we all are, by old tube radios. Back to the directed net roll call. Let me find my page here, and we are looking for SWL61. If you're still there, Dino, we'll get you checked in. All right, sounding good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Copenhagen with the check-in. Let's go to SWL 63. I think Butterbean was out there. I will get Butterbean checked in. Over to SWL 64. SWL 65.
SWL 65 checking in.
All right, sounding good, and you sounded good last night on the Ditch Bank sideband net as well. Thanks, Eric.
Hey, thanks, Dennis. You have a good evening.
Over to SWL 66. SWL 66. SWL 67. Bill in Canby. Let's see. Yeah, he's still there. I just thought maybe he had a power failure or something from all that heat. Bill, we see you on there, and try to stay cool. I was seeing some report. Wait a minute. You know what? I can actually click on your link, and if the internet is good, it'll tell us what's happening. 98 degrees. Holy cow! In Canby right now at 8:40 p.m. And you thought you left Fresno, right? You thought you left Fresno. You know, it is not even that hot here. That's ridiculous. Anyway, if you are in the garage, please leave. And thanks for checking in tonight. Wow. Okay. What's the song? We're having a heat wave. I won't play it because we'll get flagged for copyright violations. Over to SWL 68. SWL 69. Kenny was in early. He had to head off to bed, but Kenny joined us over on the YouTube video site. So Kenny, if you watch the replay, here's your official check-in. But we had you. We wouldn't miss you. Over to SWL 70. Mark is probably doing field day. I bet he's getting some contacts. And he's a portable. He runs portable with, I mean, the real deal with the batteries and the fiberglass extension antennas and all sorts of stuff. So I'll have to get a report from him later, and I'll get him checked in. Over to SWL 71, Stan. And, oh, you know, Stan is over on the video, the Echo Link. So stand by. I'm going to catch you up on Echo Link here in a bit. I'm not sure where we are on the delay, but I'll give it a shot here. K4SHW, KB6GFD. Hello, Stan, over. And Stan is joining us.
KB6GFD, K4SHW. How you doing, Dennis? Thought I am awake. I'm going to get up in about 4 hours and go back. Looking at the club logger, we've done only about 260 contacts as a club. I've been kind of being on the side, helping other people, so I've had a good time. It's nice to be with everybody again. We didn't do anything last year except work from our home, so far it's been pretty good. Over.
All right, that's great. Well, the band conditions, at least here on the West Coast, have been the best that I've heard them all year. 20 meters was just packed with stations on top of stations. I was making 10-meter contacts, 15-meter contacts. I didn't log in a lot of stuff because I was doing a lot of listening. So what is the, we'll have to look for you. What is, and I think you gave it to me last week, but I don't have it in front of me. What is the club station call for field day? Over.
Club call is Whiskey 4 Radio Sierra Charlie. Whiskey 4 Radio Sierra Charlie, over.
All right, I had that happen once where you press the button and nothing happens, or the thing that's supposed to happen doesn't. Okay, I've got the Whiskey 4 Romeo Sierra Charlie, and I take it you guys are working most of the bands, or you have a preference on a certain band?
Well, we started out, of course, in the daytime on 20, 40, and then digital. I'm just looking at them. They're on 80 now, working. And doing a lot of digital, too. I got one on 10 when I was up there on 10 meters. I've done some 15 here at home, but we've done something on all the bands. So it's been pretty good. The propagation's been pretty good so far, over.
Yeah, propagation has been great. The 10 was opened sporadically this morning. All right, good deal. I've got it logged in. Like you said, I agree with you. It's good to be kind of back in some type of normal situation and get things going again. So thanks for jumping in, giving us the scoop on field day from Foreland, and we'll look for you. 73, KB6GFD.
Roger, good to talk to you, Dennis. KB6GFD from K4SHW.
And all that will get you checked in as well on the old Tube Radio Network. Stan is in out of Dallas, Georgia, taking a little nap, getting a little bit of rest, and then going back to field day and helping out. Probably new people getting into it's a good way to get into amateur radio sometimes, because it's a lot of times in field day you are out in the open where you can promote the hobby and what happens, and people can walk up and see what happens, and they have the GOTA stations, get on the air station, so that helps as well. Let's go over to SWL 72. SWL 73. I'm getting John checked in. He is out doing field day, I am sure. I don't know if he's with the Fresno Amateur Radio Club, but John is one of the avid field day people here in town. SWL 74, Miss Jilly, we'll get you checked in. Hopefully she's in a cool spot somewhere. SWL 75. Shortwave listener 77, we've got a proxy check-in for the Tower of Power. SWL 77, Richard, I saw you on my list somewhere, and I think you're up there down in Wild Wildemar. You know, the way 10 meters has been, we could make a 10-meter contact. I was hearing, basically, the cloud would move around. I was hearing guys up in Santa Rosa, and then it went down to about Santa Cruz, and that was down in Orange County, so you just never know. Be listening on 10 meters. Like I said, I talked to Brian the other day. Thanks for checking in. SWL 79. SWL 80. And I'll turn the page, but before I do, let's check in, if it's possible. I think it's possible with Bob and Steve up there in Hawaii and see what is happening over in the green room tonight.
27.085 OTR, Channel 11.
And we'll see what kind of whoopee is going on tonight. One of the highlights of the year is Field Day, as they mentioned, as we've been talking about tonight. So no sleep tonight. Well, you heard, you've got to get a little bit. I think Stan has it right. That you have 90 minute sleep cycle. So if you can get 2, that'll give you, 3 hours. If you can get 3, that'll give you about 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours is a nice little chunk of 390 minutes. So don't get yourself sick on Field Day, but all the bands are going to be full steam. They are. I mean, we were tuning into 20 meters was still beaconing. You can hear the stations in there. Probably there's some stations on 40.
CQ Field Day, Kilo 7, Uniform Victor Alpha, CQ.
There it is, 40 meters happening on Field Day at the bar tonight for those who are a little tired of Field Day and would like to relax. We have, it is cool. It is cool over there. It's right under the vent. They moved the bar right under the air conditioning vent. The great state of Maine, homemade sausage subs from Spring Creek, fried potatoes with onions, coleslaw, iced tea. I got some of that. I got some of that iced tea. Actually, they made it special. What this is my favorite, which is grape juice and lemonade. They will give you whatever you want, but they're featuring the iced tea tonight. Ice cream with chocolate chip cookies, which I'm going to get after the show. It sounds good. It is good, because it is good. Don't forget to feed the fish 73 from the Bob and Steve, as they say, off in the distance. CQ Field Day.
Break OTR.
Now the break OTR, go ahead, over.
Okay, Dennis, SWL 226 up in Mariposa. Could I get an early check-in, please?
Yeah, we'll get you off the hill so you can do your thing. Thanks again for taking the extra effort to drive up there. And on the Ditch Banks net last night, that was incredible, making it out to the coast station. I'd never heard that before, so good ears and enjoyed that.
Yeah, it is a good spot. He was over in Aptos last night. I've talked to San Jose from here, Carmel Valley, and a gentleman over in Monterey. So if you catch it just right, it is a good spot, Dennis.
Yeah, in fact, Mitch, the station you talked to last night, is in listening right now, and he has set up our Echo link. So it was cool to hear him. Well, I guess I didn't really hear him, but it was good to know that he was in there thanks to the relay. Okay, 73 to Union, we got you checked in.
All right, 73 to everyone on the old Tube Radio Network.
All right, pressing the right button. What are we doing? We're going over to page 4. Steve Areno, Mr. Unicorn, is out there. He is listening and beaconing over on the video. He's up on the video tonight, doing good stuff. Checking in from the Central Time Zone, deep in the heart of you-know-where. Thanks, Steve. As you can hear, we're having a heat wave on the West Coast. It's the typical Fresno weather, but when it's 98... in central and northern Oregon on a June evening, something is going on. Thanks for checking in. SWL 82.
82 checking in from the Ditch Banks of Biola. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You are in the mellow AM mode tonight after a wild net last night. Ditch Banks sideband net. Join us, won't you, every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I guess it's Daylight Time on 27-365. And yes, there is a visitor check-in at the end of the roll call. Thanks, Bones.
All right, and we did go up to Field Day up there in Raymond for W6LTR Low Tide Radio. And visit with them guys, and made it back down the hill and jumped in the pool when we got home.
Wow, that is one busy day. Were they actually had the radios going on the loop and doing some stuff?
Yes, they had 2 radios going, and the loop, and a beam, and then Rick, he had a, what do you have? 900 megahertz, 2 meter 440, and 6 meters. So they had it all.
Wow. Okay. They're giving contacts to everybody. I listened in. I did not hear them. 10 meters was a short hop. I talked to the station over on the coast near Santa Cruz and some other stations. So they had that morning little E cloud going on. So sometimes you're too close, sometimes you're too far away. Thanks for checking in, and relax. I know you are.
Yeah. 20 and 40 they were on today. So all right, take care.
All right, good deal. Over to 83, Epimetheus 83. I'm not sure I saw him on the old radio night. We'll check out, see if he joins us tonight on the old Tube Radio Network. Hope he does. Let's go over to SWL 84. And Bill chimes in, it's 55 and raining in Cheyenne. Where's that rain when we need it? I can't imagine it being 55 and raining anywhere in June. Good deal. Let's see, 83, 84. I'll get 84 proxied in over to SWL 85.
85.
Hey, sounding good. Reedleytown on the map tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Yeah, I even mentioned last week you would be out in field day and maybe try and give us a shout. But I know the bands are busy, so my guess is you can't turn the dial without getting called. Anyway, putting in a good signal tonight. No problem. Thanks for checking in. And that is John out there really sounding really good tonight. We will get to proxy check-ins for the Mount Maid Tandy Girl and the Snowy Owl over to SWL 89. SWL 90. And SWL 91. Felix was in early, as always, helping us on the TV part of the studio tonight, getting the cameras set up and the microphones set up and all that. So Felix sounded good from New York, and as he heard, the stations were just booming in on 20 meters this afternoon, really loud from the New York area. So maybe I have to make some contacts there. Let's see, 91 is in. And he does say hello to the Old Tube Radio and SWL operators. Radios are coming up here in just a few minutes. I'm trying to get through the SWL list so we can start listening to those radios. I'm wanting to hear some tubes here on my tube radio list. Over to SWL 92. SWL 93. And 93, 95 is right in front of me there. Whiskey Romeo 4 Bravo. 95 checking in from Orlando, Florida. You know what? I don't think I heard. Normally Florida is always in. I don't think I heard any Florida stations today, but they may have been in there. Just wasn't on at the right time. Headed to bed. All right, do that. But thanks for staying up late and getting checked in tonight. 73. Let's head over to the west side, SWL 96. Hello, Dennis, if you are out there. Now, I will check. He may have actually showed up earlier on the video list or on the other check-in list, so I will make sure I go through that and not to miss Mr. Prune Picker. SWL 97, Boston 97 at the ready on the video tonight. Thanks for dropping by the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 98, is that valid? Let's go to SWL 99.
99, checking in. You got 99.
All right, I got 99 and an extra 20 over S9s. That puts you into triple digits. Thanks, tent maker. Over to SWL 100. I don't know if Tony was on the Echo Link earlier, but he's probably out doing field day, so I'll get to Tony from McClellanville, South Carolina, checked in. And hello to our stations joining us at old2radio.net on the audio side from Germantown, Wisconsin. As always, up there in the balcony tonight, Temecula, California. I wonder if that is by way of wonderful Wildemar, Oxford, North Carolina, and Melbourne. We talked to Tasmania earlier on the Echo Link. That was pretty cool. Let's go to SWL 103. Shortwave listener 109. SWL 110. SWL 111. If you're listening, Robert, I'm listening for you. And Reedley Town, he did check in tonight, so we'll get Robert checked in as he is, as he said last week, with a field day station and no doubt has his hands busy. Over to SWL 113. SWL 114. And then we head over to 128 Fairfax, Virginia, where John says he is checking in from the field. Not a good signal. I hope this makes it. You are 5'9", no problem here on a 1 Delta SJV from the San Joaquin Valley. So hopefully you can step away and get a little bit of sleep or rest tonight on the field day. But I know it's fun. Hopefully the weather isn't too wickedly awful out there in Virginia today. Over to shortwave listener 131. I'll refresh my comments if I needed to. Over to SWL 133. And Dave may be out doing some field day contacts. Hello to Tracy. The home of the beacon, I think the W6 FRC is now in the beacon that's up on 28299.9 something anyway. The one that I can actually hear ground wave is, I think it shows up being in Tracy. So tune that one in on your scanner. I bet it'll sound nice and loud. Let's go over to SWL 135.
SWL 135 here. I hope this thing is working. I'm a little low in frequency. I'm at 0833. So when I check this in, you might need to tune down. Can you hear me, Dennis?
I can hear you over.
Okay, groovy. There you go, TR.
All right, you are checked in 135. Thank you, Cliff. We'll look for you on the tube radio list and the break OTR. Go ahead. Who's the breaking station for OTR?
Break OTR.
Now, the breaking station for OTR. Go ahead. Hey, not a problem. I just called you moments ago. We heard from Reedley Town prior to that, and I know you are probably busy with to and from the field day. You are sounding good. Over.
Yeah, field day just getting away, bud. Take care.
All right, 73 from a 1 Delta SJV. Thanks. And in the mobile, SWL 111. After a long day, no doubt. Directed net roll call finishing up with SWL 137. Shortwave listener up to Tony in Coursegold, SWL 145.
Well, good evening, Dennis and the group. This is Tony, SWL 145. Yeah, had a good time at field day today. We were 2 Alpha SJV. Had a real good time. It was a little warm, but had a good time. Made a few contacts.
Very good. What frequency were you mainly on today, or were you all over? Because the bands were good.
Yeah, we were mostly on 40 and 20 there, Roger.
40 and 20 were good. 10 was open, and I heard 15, so good deal. Yeah, nice field day tonight, and like people said, it's nice to get back together to do that. Tony, you are checked in, and you know that on your question, the BC-610 or the HT-4, I didn't even know it was an HT-4, but that was a Hallicrafter's designation, would do everything from 80 meters to 10, so I have yet... Although it is possible to have a BC-610 HT4 check in on OTR. It would be very possible. Thanks. We got you checked in.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's incredible how much that thing weighs.
Yeah, we had, in fact, one of our net controllers had one in his garage, and we just never... We could never get the parts we needed to make it work, so somebody came by and picked it up. Well, actually not somebody, a whole bunch of people came by to pick that thing up, but definitely the size of a very large washing machine and a heck of a lot heavier. Thanks for checking in.
Oh, you bet, Dennis. Yeah, I'll be leaving for Monterey tomorrow, so for the next couple of weeks I'll be on Echolink on Saturday nights, and it's like it gets you to box me on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay, we will do that. Yeah, the Echolink is typically up thanks to 23 Skidoo on the Echolink link for the old Tube Radio Network. Try us there, and we will certainly check you in. 73.
Hi, Dennis. Thank you very much for running on that. Good luck tomorrow on field day.
Yeah, I think I'll be around. I'm going to do some early morning outside stuff to beat the heat, and then I probably want to come back in and fall into the air chair. We are looking... Oh, Dennis is in. SWL 96 from Kerman. Dennis, if you can hear me on the video, we've got you checked in as 96. Then we head over to SWL 147, Neil in Kakalaki. And he was on my list. I'll see if I can find... what's going on with Neil, if he's doing field day or whatever has happened up there tonight. Fair conditions today, kind of cool in and out. Well, it's not kind of cool here, but it's nice that it's cool somewhere. 73 from North Carolina. He said something about antennas and tents, so maybe he's doing some field day as well. Let's head over to Bobby, 188.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all the FWLs. Hope everybody's having a great weekend thus far. 188 Snow Beast checking in.
And the Snow Beast beaconing across the Central Valley and the RF, and then through the Old Tube Radio Network across the world at oldtuberadio.net. Thanks for checking in.
10-4, thank you.
Over to, let's go to, it should be 195 up in Coarse Gold.
Good evening, Dennis. 195 checking in.
All right, Jim, you are sounding good as always. I've marked you down, and the X is in the square, and if I click the mouse, it'll also show up everywhere else. Thanks. Then we have Jeff, 226, checked in earlier up on the hill. He's up at near Mount Bullion, a great receive transmit site. He was able to check in some stations from the coast last night. All right, anybody else? And I'm going to listen for you, and then I'm going to jump out and get things ready for the Tube Radio check-ins. And if I missed a comment or whatever, I will be looking at them as we go through things here, so do not fret. I know a lot of you are doing field day and are jumping in and out. That's okay. We'll get you checked in. If you have to leave early or late, not a problem. And it is hot everywhere, so if you need to get out of the hot radio room, that is not a problem as well. The Old Tube Radio Network back in a moment with the Glowing in the Dark.
checking in. I'm checking in. Do you hear me? I'm checking in. 96.
All right, everything is back in place, and it would be indeed time for your old tube radio network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Now, your old tube radio network on a Saturday evening, Central California, Channel 14, Channel 11, Channel 14 is, I don't know where that came from, Channel 11, 27085, the old tired tube radio network tonight. Lots of things going on. Amateur Radio Field Day. It is warm in a lot of places, some places not. It's raining in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's almost 100 degrees in central, most parts of Oregon and Idaho. But where the heat is a good thing is in your tube radio. And we'll be talking with the tube radio operators and looking at those tube radios coming up right now. So OTR is standing by.
Number 27.
35. 45.
All right, I heard 3 stations. Let me put them in the order that I've got them. We've got 27, which is Dwayne. Step up into the air chair. Don't take a transmission just yet. We'll be right with you. Next, after that, we'll be going to Cliff, Mr. Green Arrow, and then we'll head up the hill, up the cool hill. We'll drop a couple degrees as we head up to North Fork for radio number 3. So Paul will be with you in just a moment. So first, let's head over to Dwayne, who is actually... Dwayne, are you in Studio G? Are you in the 100-degree weather out there?
Oh, Roger. I'm out here in Studio G, and I'm going to check in the new to me Robin Tango 240 Delta T240D Robin with a Delta what is this? One Tango 104 microphone? I think that's what it is. But it's brand new to me, so I don't know too much about it. 40 channels, not crystal controlled, but it's a tube radio, and it's got all kinds of knobs and all kinds of goodies on it. Number 27.
Yeah, that is good radio. I think that's what you checked in during the roll call, because that's how I knew it was so loud. The audio was so good. I sort of had a feeling that you were not you were not on 2 meters. So that is definitely a keeper. Nice loud audio. If you hear any of the replay back, you will be pleased with it. The 240D is one of the popular radios. It's the Panasonic chassis. After 1976, where they put it with 40 channels. The Yellowbird or the Executive, I think somewhere on that radio it says Executive somewhere. Doing a good job, and I'm hearing what sounds like FT8 in the background. So what's the frequency of choice on FT8?
Well, I'm on FT4 right now, 7.047.50. And I don't know how close I have to be to this microphone. I'm going to back off of it a little bit here. And let's see, that's about 1 foot away. So, I don't know how this thing sounds when I get right up on the mic, or if I should back off of it, or I don't know.
All right, before you go, there's one thing that we can test that radio has, and you have plenty of audio. That's the reason I commented on the FT4, because it's actually quite loud. And I can hear the squelch things going. So you've got plenty of audio, and the 6 to 12 inches is probably about right. If you get too far away, then we start picking up more of the background. Under your S meter, there's a range expand. My guess is, if you're using the supplied, and that's the little small microphone, and it always has good audio, that your range expand is in the on position.
That's affirmative.
Okay. If you dare, we can try turning it off. Sometimes, old switches are best left alone, so I'll give you that option. But if we want to try just an A/B test to see without the range expand, and I'm pretty sure you will need to move back up on the microphone for that. Over.
All right. This is with it off, and I'm about 6 inches away from the microphone. And let me turn it on real quick. And this is with it on, same 6 inches away.
Okay. I did not hear, in my headphoniumed attire here, I did not hear any difference whatsoever. It was good both ways, but typically there is either an attenuation of audio or a extra audio thing, and I didn't hear either of those. And that's why I prefaced it with sometimes old switches don't do what they're supposed to do.
Oh, roger that. Is your email good on QRZ?
That item you see, that is correct.
All right. I'm going to send you an email. I have some items of information for you there about these radios that I acquired. So I'll send you an email. Anyway, number 27.
All right, good deal. I will be looking forward to that. Sounding good on our radio, our first radio of the evening tonight. Dwayne, who isn't too far away. In fact, let me go back to the radio and S meter. Take a transmission. I want to make sure that I had your radio and your S meter in case you watch the playback. You can give yourself a radio check. So go ahead.
All right, let's give it a check here. 6 inches away from this Delta 104 microphone on the Robin Tango 240 Delta, number 27.
Yeah, plenty. And that is, that Delta 104 is a non-amplified, no battery involved? Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
It's got a little, it does have a little cover over something, and I haven't taken it off, so I might want to look under there and see what's under it.
Yeah, I think if it has the cover, you're going to have a little place for a screwdriver to turn up and down some stuff. And not that you need to or anything, but sometimes if you have the amplified microphone, you've got the range expand off and on, then you've kind of got to match the two so that one isn't overdriving the other. But it sounds good. It sounds good and not an issue. I'm not hearing all the FT4 background stuff, too. I don't know if you turned it down or something changed. Radio number 1, the Robin T123 Bravo. Doing a good job in a new item, the maiden voyage of the Yellowbird Executive from your location. Thanks for bringing it by.
No, it's not the 123 Bravo, it's the 240 Delta.
Oh.
But I do have a 123 Bravo sitting behind me, so I'll send you an email on that. Number 27.
Okay, I wrote the wrong thing down, and of course, if anybody's watching the video, they are seeing over my shoulder the Executive Yellowbird T240D from 1976. It was basically, the FCC said, I'm sorry, 23-channel radios will be illegal at some point, so they had to take their really nice 23-channel model, and I don't know if they synthesized or PLL chipped or whatever they did to get the 40 channels in there, but it's very similar to the 123, I do believe. Thank you for bringing that by.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, I did hear, I heard Tony up in, I think he's up in Coarse Gold. So it's got a pretty good receiver on it. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, Tony does a good job on AM from his Coarse Gold location. So, and then Jeff was up at Mount Bullion, and a lot of stations around. They're probably everybody has good receivers trying to hear me. So the 240D is no slouch in that department. Let's see. Okay, there you go.
All right, carry on. Number 27.
37.
37, you will be radio number 4. Stand by. We're heading over to radio number 2 at 9:23 as he's coming up from the green room, up the stairs to the air chair. Mr. Green Arrow, hello, radio.
Hello, radio. Yeah, I sure hope this thing is working. And again, I am a bit low in frequency, so if you got it tuned down, I'm at 0833. Others probably aren't hearing me very well. Anyway, if you can hear me, can you hear me?
I can hear you, over.
Oh, okay. This is the Sonar Model E. Sonar Model E as in Echo. It's a 8-channel, but it's got all 23-channel receive on the little tuner. And I'm on the Sonar plastic handheld non-amplified type microphone.
Okay, and I'm hearing a CQ field day in the background. I think that's coming over. I think that's coming over the 2-meter radio. All right, I have found the Sonar Model E, and I think I've actually found. I think I've actually found the Sonar Model E. Let me make sure I've got that correct. We are talking about a Sonar Model E, over.
Roger, E as in Echo. And yeah, I do have a picture of this particular radio up. I don't know if you found it. I'm out here in the backyard. So if it's mine, oh yeah, does it have a picture of the meter above it? I've got the little Sonar signal strength meter attached to this thing as well, so I can see your signal.
Yes, it does. It is the Sonar. It has the Dymo label maker for KGB, looks like 63 or 8370. It is there. The microphonium is off to the side, so that's a good thing. So we'll try that. We're also from the suggestion of one of our SWLs, we are going to check our Delta tunes, or whatever they're called on your radio, with that plus minus knob somewhere in the center. On the Cliff's radios, we do that in a little bit. I want to say, take one moment here and say hello to Jimmy SWL34, who does a great job on many. Did I say many? Many Facebook pages that have to do with radios of some sort, whether it's amateur, CB, both, or whatever. And Jimmy is checking in tonight. SWL34 out there in Batavia, near Chi-Town. Hello, Jimmy. Thanks for jumping in. So back to you, Cliff, and I will also work my... I'll do it on sideband, so I can actually give you a frequency check. But coming in the transmission, we'll see if you're high or low, and we'll check out how those Delta tunes are working on your old tube radio receivers. Here we go.
Yeah. You want to take the break first?
Yeah, hang on just a second. Who's the break OTR?
Roger, me to be next.
Okay, you will be radio number 5, and we are on radio number 2. All right, back to Cliff as we are going to adjust our Delta tunes.
Okay. 123. Yeah, my little ant light is flashing. That's something we did some work on. Also, I found out that this radio's got all of the original capacitors in it, and incidentally, 4 original sonar tubes. It's got 9 tubes, but only 8 channels. And I got this thing going as good as I can. I'm glad you're able to hear me on it. It hasn't worked right in some time. Is that enough audio? 1, 2.
Yeah, plenty of audio. And you are not lying. You are low on frequency by about a kc.5. And in fact, you are low enough that if anybody was using their Delta tunes, they are probably going to change the timbre, is that the right word? I don't know, of your audio just a little bit as we're picking up a little of the sidebands. You don't sound that bad. It sounds very good, but I can actually change your tone a little bit as we dial in a little, I guess, a little bit less of the upper sideband at 27.085. You're at 27.083.5. It's about a kc.5 low. If somebody's got a real tight receiver, I know my Regency Imperial used to be really tight. If somebody was about a kc.5 off, they would definitely sound like sideband. And as you probably know, let me scroll back up in the picture. You have the sonar meter with that, and Jimmy rightly says they also made a sonar tone call box and external speaker, although I think some of the sonars didn't even have a speaker in the front. I may be wrong about that. You had to use the external speaker, and an SWR bridge for the Model E. So I don't know.
And let's try one more time. KB6.
Uh-oh.
This is KJ6.
And I don't know if you have any of those, but the meter looks good. Over.
Yeah, Roger, I do not have the other stuff. I don't. It's called the sonar call. I'm still looking for one of those, and yeah, there's a matching speaker for these things. I don't have that. Those are very cool, but I do have the matching meter and matching microphone.
Checked in on the crossband.
As pictured. And I have plugged external speakers into it before, and they sound just great. There is an external speaker jack back there, but the forward-firing speaker that comes with it, this one, it's a 3-inch speaker, and it actually sounds very good.
Well, I'm going to say, with the front fire speaker right in the front, I'm thinking it wouldn't be too awfully bad of just the regular speaker, but that is a radio that will go mobile as well, so being front fired, maybe you wouldn't need it, but it is a good item of interest. Since we are actually looking at your radio, you should be in, let's see, position number 2, unless the labels have fallen off.
Nope, that is still correct. Channel 11 is still in the number 2 position. I've got, 9, 11, 13, 15, Channel 2, Channel 17, and Channel 20. I don't have anything in position 8. I figure that's enough crystals for now. Hey, can I switch microphones and get your opinion on that?
Yes, I am. We're recording, doing the archives. We'll do a microphone switch before you head away. Next radio will be Paul up in North Fork. And, oh, great, Jimmy says he's going to post a picture of the call box on the OTR Facebook group, so that'll be good. So, yes, go ahead and do the microphonium change.
Okay, I have done so. This is a Turner Plus 2 that I have hooked up for this. And, yeah, I've never seen the sonar call box. There's a really cool jack in the back, a big, complicated-looking jack in the back for that thing. But I've never even seen the unit myself. So how does this sound?
Okay, I went and scrolled over to the microphonium that's on the side of the picture, which I think is the one you were previously using. And then you're on a Plus 2, a desk mic or a hand mic?
It's a Turner Plus 2 desk mic. The blue bullet desk mic looking thing.
Wow, okay. I pretty much would say I like the other microphone better, and I would also say I might like it a lot better. If that's a Plus 2, It almost sounds like it has an element issue.
Okay, back to the original hand mic as pictured. An element issue, huh? Wow. Harvey didn't say anything about that. He said it sounded pretty good. But okay, we'll stick with this one then. This is back to the original handheld plastic non-amplified microphone made by Sonar.
All right. Well, your microphone +2 does not sound bad. I can hear you. But compared to the microphone, the stock microphone, I think the stock microphone sounds better. It has much better fidelity. It doesn't have the pinched audio sound that the +2 has. There isn't that much difference in the gain at all. So the stock microphone sounds better to me.
Yeah, Harvey went to a lot of trouble to fix the +2 as well. It had a battery issue. He replaced the battery snap in there, and that seemed to take care of that. Really pinched audio or something, huh?
It's just more restricted than the stock mic, and I would think that wouldn't be the case. Does that mean that the microphone has a problem? Not necessarily. Does that mean the microphone is bad? Not necessarily, but I would think that the +2 would sound better than the stock microphone to me. We are recorded, so if you want to do, because I want to move on to Paul, but if you want to do another quick A/B for a playback, go right ahead. You know, so you don't have me talking in between it, so you get a better A/B comparison. So if you want to try that, I will leave the receiver open, and you can give yourself an orange furniture and a sizzling sausage, and you know the deal.
Okay, well, back on the Turner mic. Orange sausages, sizzling furniture, 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. Test, sibilance, suffering succotash. Okay, that should be pretty good. And back to the hand mic. Hello, boom, 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 suffering succotash, yellow furniture, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that should probably be good enough for a comparison. Thanks very much for letting me do that. Incidentally, you are 20 over on the Sonar external extra little meter. Thought you might want to know. It's kind of cool. Otherwise, this thing wouldn't even have a meter. Thanks for letting me check it in. I'm going to have one more a little later because there hopefully have been improvements to that as well. And I'll see you later.
All right, a good comparison. I put up the Orban loudness meter, so when you hear the playback, you will also notice by watching the LKFS numbers on the Orban meter that the +2 is louder. It has louder audio. It presents more of a loudness. So someone farther out, I mean, you're full quieting here. Someone farther out might say that, oh no, the +2 is much better because one, you are perceived as being louder. So it's in the eye of the beholder. For me, because you have a very decent signal, I prefer the desk microphonium, the stock microphonium. But that is not to say there's anything wrong with anything. Radio number 2, the Sonar Model E. From SWL 35 from Cliff. And just a reminder, you don't have to have any numbers or any SWL this or that or have ever checked into the old Tube Radio Network to come by, say hello, and especially if you find yourself with a Tube Radio. Just like, where did this come from? But you just dial it up, and when we're doing the radio tonight, we'll check it in. Thanks, Cliff, for your item of interest.
No, thanks for letting me check it in, and maybe somebody can find out where these things were made. I don't. It's the only Sonar I've got. I have no idea where they come from, and it doesn't say on my radio. Let's get back up into the hills. See you in a few.
All right. Well, let's see. Where is Sonar made? I was looking at my Rolodex. I don't see that. Another one of our SWLs mentioned the +2 is a low Z mic. So it may not work as well as a high Z mic on that rig, and that might be the difference in the audio quality we're hearing. Maybe there's an impedance mismatch, meaning that there ain't nothing wrong with the microphone, right? Could be an impedance match, and the amplifier gain won't overcome it entirely. Although we did, with the Orban meter, prove that you actually have more gain with the +2. So you just never know. So, that thing I said about an element problem, scratch that. That was out of line from a net control operator. So there are other factors that can make or break the sound of something, especially with impedance matching between transistors and tube radios. Thanks, Mitch, for that. And Jimmy says he's put up the picture already, so we'll have to see if I can grab that. All right, Paul, thank you for being patient up on the hill, North Fork, where I hope that the conditions are still good and it's not too warm for radio number 3. Hello, 45, over.
Oh, good. Yeah, I hope you hear this radio. It's a little different than those. It's a T-Berry Model T 40 channel.
All right, T-Berry Model T, I hear it. It seemed like it got a rough start when you keyed it up the first time, but the audio started getting better and better. Let me see if I can go to the Rolodex for the T-Berry Model T40 channel. I don't think this is from your collection, but it's a good representation of this radio that looks a lot like a Panasonic chassis. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely Panasonic. Yeah, it's a quality radio, I'll tell you that. I get back into it, but I want to say about my 23, my T-Berry 23. I had a lot up to TV. To check it in before I checked this one in, and that thing blew a capacitor and really got my attention. The funny part of it was, you were still talking and smoke flying on the radio, I can still hear you. And that's fun for the night. Thank you.
All right, well, this is $5 Radio Theater. There is some interesting things going on with the audio. I don't think the carrier's dropping out. When you listen to the replay, you will hear it, and it always seems to be near the beginning of your transmission. So I'm not exactly sure what that is, but the radio seems to hold true for the transmission. So as long as it doesn't look like there's smoke coming out of the top and your mod meter is moving correctly, things are good for Radio 3, the T-Berry Model T40 channel radio. That's the second 40 channel radio tonight. Go ahead.
Okay. There's my 40 channel. It's working well. I have problem with it. I know it's on the microphone on the thing. And so you repair it. So I'm going to fix the other one first. Yeah, okay. Thanks for checking it in, Dennis.
All right, thanks for bringing it by, and thanks for being patient. The T-Berry Model T-Berry Model T 40 channel. The P would be for Panasonic, one of the Japanese imports, but I think those are even plate modulated. Doing a good job on the old tube radio network tonight. Hanging in the 4th radio position would be Christopher. If you are there, over.
I are here.
All right, take a transmission. It is 9:39 Pacific Daylight Time, plus or minus my inaccuracy on the giant LCD Micronta, one of those original Radio Shack clocks that I try to set to WWV, but it never quite seems to get there.
Okay, well, Dennis, as you always know, you can just about tell which radio I've got here. I am going to check in on my general radio telephone, the Super MC11A, 24-channel version, glows in the dark. And we are registered here with a non-amplified stock microphone. And everything seems to be working. Over.
As always, everything seems to be working because it is the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. I think they're last out of the box. The FCC likes it and will accept it radio. The MC12, probably even more brutal than that one. But the FCC, I don't think ever took a liking to it. So the GRT logo between the channel selector and the S meter, if you have an MC11, on a lot of those, it is missing. So if that's the only improvement, whatever, but I think there's a few more things on the MC11A. It sounds good. Take another transmission.
Oh, yeah, that's the little old man in the wheelchair pulling his IV along with him there. But, yeah, this is mine.
And I just have one comment to make. I don't know if anybody noticed it around 5 o'clock or so, maybe. Yeah, right, close to 6, I guess. The sky was quite black over there by the old Zacky Farms over there off of Palm and whatever. What is that? Right there by the railroad tracks. Behind that, there is a a recycle center. That thing started burning, and I mean it was still burning about 7 o'clock.
Well, that makes sense because Larry checked in, and he's down in the near the Chinatown area, and he mentioned that he was checking in from the smoke cloud. He was checking in from the cloud. I didn't quite know what he meant, but you have explained that situation.
Okay, and well, if Larry's still out there, get a hold of Bill. He's wanting to get a hold of you. He's trying to get you to give him a call or something. He needs your help. So, and we miss you out here, Larry. I do anyway. But anyway, I just had to throw that in. I do miss him. But hey, that's what it were, and I wanted to let everybody know that we drove by there. It was bad.
Yeah, usually a recycle center and all that stuff does, burning that kind of stuff is not good. I don't know what is happening to the audio levels. They just keep getting louder. I don't touch anything. The audio is going up and up and up. So my apologies to the SWLs if you are having to tune things up and down. It's something going on here in the shack. So I don't know if things are overheating or whatever. But as long as I'm on the air, that's a good thing. Radio number 4, the General Radio Telephone, out of beautiful downtown Burbank, the Super MC11A, all its glorious 9 tubes. It does all that. The ECLL 800 modulator output and the 12AX7 for some audio. And I don't even think there's 6BQ5? No, there's not. But anyway, the thing sounds awesome as always. 24-channel radio, as it says right on the front, because it does have the Silva Air Patrol. Thanks for bringing it by.
Okay, and you're saying about things are getting loud? Well, Dennis, it's a General. What can I say?
All right, well, it was already loud, but I mean my stuff going out through the Universal Media Network starts getting louder. It's like everything is turning up and going up that way. All right, stepping up, and thank you, Chris. Stepping up into the air chair should be Harvey, SWL20. I also wanted to do, someone mentioned the pocket protector, and I don't have the seersucker jacket on tonight, so there's no pocket protector, but I wanted to get our OTR sponsor tonight, Jones TV and Appliance, Gibson, Litton. Gosh, remember Litton microwave ovens? They're like the first ones that made it. Gibson, Litton, and Sylvania at 401 South Blanchard, Findlay, Ohio. And it gives a phone number, which I won't give out because it could still be good and probably not for the Jones TV and Appliance, and it'll fit right in the pocket protector. Were it that I had a pocket, but it just falls right off. All right, hello, Harvey, over.
Hello, Dennis. Number 20 here on a Fleet Courier 30B+. I'm working on another one, but this one seems to be working. I've got the hand mic that came with it, but you didn't think it was that good, so we'll run this on it. And got 10 tubes, a 7868 final, a tall fat tube. So it does about 20 to 30. And I have not checked any of the tubes. I have not replaced any of the electrolytics. I haven't even blown the dust out. It's just running. And which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. It took me a while to find it in the Rolodex. It was actually filed at the end of everything. It wasn't alphabetical. I have a shot. It is, and it's from the collection of Paul, Fleet Courier 30B+. What a beautiful radio. Am I looking at the right one? It's got the rack handles like a General Radio Telephone. It's got the nice blue and the white and the dark on the front. And it looks like it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels over.
Roger. It's got ABCDE, transmit light that goes on when you transmit and then fluctuates with your voice, a receive light, volume, squelch, and in between those, a 4 or 5 position band spread clicks in, switchable. There's a crystal in there with some picofarad caps to switch back and forth. Had this for a while, but decided to try it out. Also, I did something. I bought some speakers, 3-inch Quam speakers, model 30A05. They fit in all the generals, except the 100 I have. The VS series and the MC series. They're factory replacement, according to the Sam's PhotoFax. I bought a whole bunch of them brand new. And I just noticed the couriers, the Fleet Courier, Fleet Courier 30B, and the V Plus all take the same speaker, which is a good thing. Also, I bought some 30A07, which are not 3-inch speakers, which go in these things, but 3.5. As it turns out, they won't fit in the MC series, but they will fit in the VS series. Slightly bigger, but will fit in, and you can mount them. They'll be fine. So I've got a bunch of those for the VS series. So if anybody needs speakers around here, just let me know.
All right, speakers. He's got speakers. And again, my audio is just creeping up, so my apologies to the SWLs if you're having to make an adjustment. All right, let's talk about the Fleet Courier bit. You have stirred the curiosity of many an SWL here tonight on the Fleet Courier. Would we consider that a business band radio, meaning that perhaps if you've clocked the output, the 5-watt DC input might be a bit more? So it's all crystal controlled. I'm trying to see if anybody has any questions for you on that. I see it's got a band spread, and the audio is good. We're showing Paul's, and he's got, and you might have told me what microphonium you're using. It's just got the standard Courier teardrop, black microphonium. But what I think the audio is really good on that. What are you doing for the microphone? Over.
I stole the microphone from the Robin Ranger 1000 amplified G104. Same 4-pin Amphenol big plug, plugged right in, wired the same, works fine. What was I going to say here on, say something. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to make a comment on something. Oh, well, one thing. Sonar is Hollywood, Florida. And then I forgot the other thing. I'll remember in a minute.
Hollywood, Florida. I know a guy that works on radios from Hollywood, Florida. He works on the ACOFT 102. The other thing would be if the Fleet Courier would be considered a business band radio because of the 30B, so you might be seeing a bit more than the 5-watt DC input on that thing.
Roger. However, the General Radio Telephone BB30 and BB series you can't find in Sam's PhotoFax. Well, a lot of CBs you can't. You can't find the Browning BB30 that they have, business band radio type thing. Can't find that in Sam. But you can find
Fleet Courier 30. Yeah, you can't find the Plus, but you can find the Fleet Courier
and the 30B in Sam. Fleet Courier looks the same as the 30B on the front. Got a couple of lights on there. on the 30B that the Fleet Courier doesn't have. It's painted up the same in the front. The chassis is slightly different inside, slightly different tube. However, 5-channel and got the somewhat bigger output. The 30B and the 30B Plus are very, very similar. They don't look the same in the front. The channel crystal setup is a little different inside, but it's got the big bad tube that both of them have heftier driver and final tube. And it's in Sam's CB series. So for some reason they included it as a CB radio.
All right. Well, it's a nice. It is definitely a keeper. Let's see a couple of questions. Oh, where did you get? You said something about sonar in Florida. Was that one of their places? We also have some information that they could be out in New York as well. I'm just wondering where you got that info, the Fleet Courier. And I'm thinking you are. Let's see. You're not on the Harvey Range Boost. Is that correct?
No, I cannot use the Harvey Range Boost at this radio.
Okay, and you do not need to. I was just looking at the S meter, and it looks good. It doesn't have the features of Harvey Range Boost, which I think would actually detract from that radio because it sounds great. It's our radio number 5, the Fleet Courier 30B, and you said you've had that. That's your radio, right? That's not from Paul's collection?
No, this isn't from Paul. This is one I picked up a while back. So I also got another one that's not quite working yet.
Okay, well, sometimes this is the not quite working frequency. Thanks for bringing it by. It has generated a bit of interest, or maybe even more than just a bit of interest. And, you know, I checked frequency while you were doing that last transmission. You are right on. I mean, when I go to upper, lower sideband, I do not have to touch my dial.
25. Okay, my freaky counter says 08050 bouncing to 1. Okay. Sonar Radio Corporation, 3000 Sterling Road, Hollywood, Florida, 33021. Area code 305-981-8800. For those who'd like to call and order one of these radios.
Yeah, I think we will probably let's get a bunch. We'll get a bunch because people want those. All right, 73 to you. Thanks, Harvey. If you've got more, we'll be here to take them. I do believe I heard Jerry, 25. So step up into the air chair, Jerry. As just let Harvey get off the dais there, and I think he's going to head over to the Studio B to pick up some of that nice ice cream. Just making some comments. Oh, Boston 97 says he has me piped into the Admiral. Oh, wow, the Admiral. I'm on the Admiral 6BQ5 audio. Well, I apologize because my audio is fluctuating up and down. Let me hit the stereo switch. Where's the, hello? There is the stereo switch tonight for those listening on the 6BQ5. And if you're listening stereo, we'll see, we're on the left channel, right channel. Now, everybody on the air cannot hear what is going on. This is for our internet listeners only. Okay, stop fooling around. Hello, 25.
Hello, Dennis. I apologize. Didn't mean to jump in. I did not hear Harvey at all, so I didn't know if there was a QSO happening there or not. But real quickly, checking in on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, talking on the non-powered banana mic, and everything seems to be working, and that's about it. 2-piece radio with a spot button, and back to you, Dennis.
It sounds marvelous as always. I'm surprised you couldn't hear Harvey. He was on the Big Bucks business band radio, but it could just be a terrain thing, like not a train thing. Jimmy, I said train thing. Jimmy says, what? No, a terrain thing where something's in the way. But your Browning sounds good as always. Over.
Alrighty. Well, anyway, I appreciate you checking in, and again, congratulations on 30. Well, it's got to be 36 years, 35 years, something like that of carrying on the tradition of old tube radio, and much appreciated, Dennis. And by the way, the red on the air light is glowing as I'm transmitting. So anyway, thanks for checking it in, and I'm sure there's maybe a couple other stations out there wanting to check in radio, so I'll keep it short. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Sounding good. I'm still trying to figure out what my audio level change is. I added another noise gate that's been sitting in the rack unused for years. I have a feeling that it's doing some strange things, but I take that back because it's everything else. It's everything else. I need to take heed from our radio operators this evening who come with a radio and a stock microphone, and that's all they need to sound good. And it works. Radio number 6, thanks tonight on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, our first Browning of the evening, the Old Tube Radio Network standing by.
Contact.
This is the contact frequency. Go ahead.
I've been looking for the contact frequency all day long. I'm glad I found it. Hello, Dennis 70 checking in late. Please, por favor, did you participate in field day today?
All right, you asked me the question first before I could ask you, so I will give you an answer. Yes, I did. I did a lot of listening, and then I was really impressed with the way 10 meters was working this morning with the sporadic E-skip, and I talked to some stations or made some contacts to some stations that were on the Bay Area, like Santa Cruz, and heard guys down in Southern California, Northern California. I think I got a contact on 15 and contact on 20. Did I do 40? I don't think I did 40 meters. But anyway, the bands were absolutely great, and now I will put the question over to you.
Not so much. I did some listening. Heard a lot on 20 and stuff when I was out in the truck, but I had 28.4 on 10 on here for a while. When the heck was that? I think it was like late morning, and I heard one or two stations, but not a whole lot. Maybe it picked up. Well, it didn't start till noon though. Maybe that was the problem. That's definitely the problem. I think it started at noon, right?
I want to say it did, and I'm thinking because I wrote down. I really didn't take good notes, and it's on a piece of paper. And do I have the time for everything? It's probably on another piece of paper. So I must have got in right at the beginning. Then it was field day contacts, and some of the other ones might have been. They might have been tested, but I'm pretty sure it was afternoon because I was looking at the calls, and a lot of them were club stations. But just 10 meters was 10 meters has been blowing me away with this short E-skip stuff. But even on 20 meters, in fact, you know what? Since I'm here and I've got the floor. Even 40 is still.
Ending in Charlie Whiskey Zulu.
7232, still going strong on the 40 meter band. For field day tonight. 20 was...
All right, I copy November 4, Charlie Whiskey Zulu. Please copy our 3 Alpha Uniform Tango, 3 Alpha Utah.
Up there in Utah. So it's still going strong, over.
Well, there you go. Pretty cool stuff, man. Anyhow, yeah, maybe tomorrow. We're going to head up to one of the lakes tomorrow, but maybe we'll bring a radio along. Anyhow, cool stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed the activities, and I think it runs till 12 tomorrow. But anyhow, thanks very much for the late check-in, if nothing else, and have a great evening.
I think you're right. Most of my field day activities were heading over to the park and helping the people take everything down in prior years. So I think that was afternoon. Or I'd show up early, and Dwayne was always really good. SWO27 was making breakfast for everybody, or having I think him and his wife cooking stuff. So Kind of missed that. Just real quickly, because I actually mentioned your name earlier in the program here about you, that I thought you were out at field day because you're one of those portable guys. So you indeed did indeed say something about running portables. That would be like the real deal with the portable radio and perhaps a battery and maybe wires on fiberglass poles, types of things. Over.
Yeah, that would be portable. I didn't participate. I didn't do that, but I actually did think about it. But I was like, oh, you know, by the time you get all this stuff out and throw a wire in a tree and do all that, I guess I'm just lazy. But didn't set it up. Got all the stuff to do it, but didn't do it. It just sits here and begs me to turn it on. But I know I'll be turning it on at least in late August, early September when I do my annual trip, so I'll at least get some use out of it then. I actually picked up a little portable solar panel slash battery that I think I'm going to use this summer on my trip. It looks pretty interesting to replace the LiPo batteries and little buck step-down regulator and all the stuff that I had been bringing along. This can charge the radio, or you can run the radio, it can run the KX2, it can recharge devices. I usually don't bring them, but after last year, I gave in to my wife's request to get a little satellite messenger thingy so that she could reach me or I could reach her, you know, emergency or whatever. I'm blabbering on, but I'm just looking at all this gear laying on my floor here.
All right, well, you will get it figured out, and like you said, you got a little time for August. So make a note that you're going to find a frequency on Saturday evening if you are indeed out on a Saturday evening, and we'll make a contact. I've got the other rig here. Maybe we can do, if you're close enough, what would work? 40 early, 75? I don't know. Maybe we'll get a check-in that way. It has been done before. Thanks for the check-in, and from I believe I'm a 1 Delta SJV. You are sounding good.
Yeah, we'll do a sked. I don't even know what my section and thing is. I don't know. All I know is I'm Delta Mike 7. That doesn't help, though.
No, you're probably an SJV, and then the one if you're... But see, you're probably not a Delta. You're going to be a portable station, so you're a single op, but you're going to be in some other different category on the letter.
Yeah, I know I'm SJV. I actually looked at the rule book and looking at all... There's like 35 different categories, and I have to admit, it was slightly overwhelming, and I said, the heck with this. Yeah, too many categories.
All right, and somebody, Boston 97 says, Dennis, we need you to not go portable. Who's that nerd in the tie? We can do. Let's see, where it is. All right, we're gonna do portable radio here. I'll just go to the other microphone. All right, sorry about that. I'm wasting time because we need to check in radios, and it's already past 10 o'clock. Thanks, Mark.
135.
And 135, hello, radio.
Yeah, you can go ahead and finish your cue, so I just wanted to let you know I got another one.
All right, I think we're good with 70. Thank you, Mark, for checking in. And we have room for Radio 7. And when you say you've got another one, you know, the best day of OTR is like fishing. You drop your line in and something else comes up. So we'll do a little catch and release here. Go ahead.
Get another break, too.
I'm sorry, you need another break? I think I have one left.
I think somebody else was trying to break in. I just heard somebody.
Oh, all right. Well, Cliff is jumping in there with radio. Regardless, Cliff, you will be Radio 7. Who is the other breaking station?
SWL 48 checking in, Dennis.
Hey, all right. Thanks for the relay there, Mark. And 48, Mr. KP, you are sounding good. I don't know, are you up at the field day?
Yep, went up to Raymond. Went up to the boys with the low-tide group up at Raymond.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty, as usual, a really impressive setup, and it's nice that they're actually able to do that again.
Roger, it was a little hot. Anyway, have a good evening.
All right, Mr. KP, thank you, Sam, for remembering the Saturday night place to be. Back over to my tube radio list wherever I put it here, and we are looking at, what did I say, radio, make sure I didn't forget somebody here. Yeah, Radio 7, over.
Oh, okay, my turn?
It is your turn, Mr. Green Arrow, as I write your name in the list.
Okay, I checked this in, a week or so ago. This is from Waseca, Minnesota. This is the Johnson Messenger 223. Let's see, 10 tubes, all 23 channels, AM type radio. Now, as you'll recall, in our last episode, there was a hum problem with this thing. What does it sound like now? 1, 2, 1, 2.
It sounds very clean. I'm having my strange little audio up and down thing going on, but there is definitely nothing that's catching my headphoniumed ears that would say, "Ooh, we have an issue here." So take another transmission, and we will all give a critical listen to the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, especially our SWLs out there in Waseca. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, really. They should be proud. Johnson made a lot of great radios for ham radio, as well as us CBers. Let's see. I've got pretty good frequency going on here. 270847. So this one should be a lot closer to on frequency than the sonar was. But yeah, as it turns out, there was some major problems. When I took it apart, I discovered that, yeah, all the electrolytic caps were the original electrolytic caps, the paper ones, especially the big 3-inch long, 1-inch wide electrolytic on the power supply. And Harvey put his tester on it, and that cap was dead. After I checked it in, and I heard the playback and everything, there was a serious hum. It actually started getting worse. I started getting ripple in the transmit, and there's a distinctive hum in the receive. And no, there's no doubt about it. It needed some recapping. So Harvey recapped it, and they peaked it a little bit, and all the tests that we did show that it was working okay. But I want to hear the playback, and I could always use the critical commentary from you. Is it sounding any better?
Yeah, it sounds great. There is no. I've been fooling with the levels, and there's no hum at all. It's nice. The audio is great. I think you will be very pleased. We need. Where is Larry, Radio Ham Guy? Who hasn't? I haven't even seen videos from him, and he actually worked at E.F. Johnson. I think his thing was like the only thing is he says watch out for the crystals. He used to say that something about the crystals that Johnson put in their radios. He said they're going to be off frequency, but it sounds like you are not. Or I will check that. But anyway, it's good. I've got a picture of the one from your collection that has the bespeckled speaker, so we could be talking about the same radio. But you are on the archived recording, and I'm sure you'll like what you hear.
Oh yeah, that is this radio. It's got the modulation light over the volume knob, and yes, that actually is the black paint. It's starting to go on the speaker grill there. It's flaking off in little places, but I decided to leave it like that. I just didn't feel like spraying paint on it or anything. It's actually kind of difficult to get to that. That is the radio. The match. Oh yes, this is the matching unamplified Turner style desk mic. It's olive drab. It matches the case of the radio, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't say anywhere on it. But I'm pretty certain Turner made these things because it looks identical in every way except for the color to the Turner Plus 2s. except like I said, there's no amplification. Might have benefited from that, but I really dig the cool Viking guy on both the radio and the microphone. I've always thought that was really cool looking and a nice touch. But yeah, I'm glad we got this thing all buttoned up, and it was kind of a fight there for a little while, but I think so it's sounding good and clean, yes?
Yes, no, it sounds really good. The audio is good. No need of amplification on the audio. The quality of equalization, and I mean, I've talked to you on FM before. This is not tailoring your voice like you sound like a phone patch or anything like that. It's great.
Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, I thought it was worth checking in one more time before I put it back on the shelf after going to all that trouble. It's like, let's see how big a difference it makes, because, yeah, the hum sounded pretty bad to me on the, I watched the YouTube playback, and I went, oh, my God, we better check this out. And sure enough, yeah, like I say, the big main filter cap in the power supply was just dead. So it's like, well, there's your problem.
Well, there's your problem right there. When you found it, and it has been corrected, and the 223 is now a player. We always recommend, if you can find a 223 somewhere, you will not be disappointed. The radio gives you everything you need without going overboard, and they always sound good, even when they have a problem, like yours did the other time. They're relatively easy to repair, as a lot of these radios are. Although Harvey's shaking his head. No, they're not all of them. They're not all easy to repair, but most of them are. Radio number 7, the Messenger 223. Oh, and I guess take a transmission. It'll do the obligatory frequency check here.
Okay. As for the obligatory frequency check, now let's see. My frequency toner has 27084, and it's flipping between 6 and 7. So 0846, 0847, somewhere around there. What do you got there? Back to you.
I guess I need another camera. I've got the camera on the S meter, but I can't move it over to the dial. I have exactly what you said. It is right there.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks for letting me check it in here again, and yeah, maybe I'll try to pull it out here more often so the caps don't all dry up every time I check it in. Thanks again for letting me check it in, and we'll see you next time.
All right, I'm going to do some counting and amounting. The jingle singers who have really, really gotten off easy tonight are stepping up to the ribbon microphonium so they can do what they do best. And while we're counting and amounting, I will also take a check-in. We have
OTR, Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
How about one from the Radio Lounge?
Oh yeah, we are ready for that. I know that radio by the way it keys up. Could be a very important, influential check-in as well. So the Radio Lounge, and I did thank you for the 2-meter check-in. I actually had it up, and it was beaconing in my ear, and as usual, I always have to look around and say, okay, someone's talking to me. Where are they at?
Well, I'm sorry about that. The only way I was monitoring anything was on 2 meters. I was hoping that I wasn't going to be stepping on anyone's toes, and apparently I did, as I did last week, and maybe I could talk about that if there's downtime. But maybe I guess we'll start out with business. How about checking in a delightful radio, which I think you have already identified. My Robin T123, and man, I hope I got the right power cord on it right now. I have a sneaky feeling I do.
Yes, it made its little growl like it does sometimes, and then it came up. So the 123 is on the picture. Let me do that, and I apologize to our listeners for this level thing that is going on, and I have no idea what is causing rise in the audio back and forth, and it's just kind of strange. But the radios are performing flawlessly tonight. You do have the proper power cord. Over to you.
Okay, thank goodness. Well, it's nice to use it in a quiet environment where I don't have cars like pulling over on the side of the road to make sure I'm okay, and I don't have swarms of mosquitoes, flying in and causing all sorts of ruckus on the side of a highway. But it's the Robin T123, my very first tube radio that I purchased. Thank you, Harvey, for that one. The thing that drew me to it, I know we've spoken about this quite a bit, is this gosh darn the Magic Eye tube. There's nothing in my house that I have, or at least at that point in time, there's nothing that I'd ever owned that had any sort of a Magic Eye tube in it. And I can't remember how the fire was lit on that, but it certainly engulfed me and kind of dictated that the first radio I purchased, tube radio I purchased, had the Magic Eye tube in there. But it's I think it's the 6RE13, the vertically mounted Magic Eye tube. You yap into it, and the more audio you put into the microphone, there's a bar that kind of illuminates from the top of the tube. There's another bar that illuminates from the bottom of the tube, and the more I talk, the closer the bars kind of meet in the center. And I think the best analogy I can say is that the more I open my mouth, the more that thing seems to close, because it does look like a mouth opening and closing. I do have the amplified D104 on it, which is really nice. Because I don't have to scream into it. I hope the audio is okay. I just kind of at a normal late night voice level. This Magic Eye tube definitely seems to be, quite active. So hopefully the audio is semi decent.
Audio is very good. It's nice and loud, and I know you are not a Harvey range boost kind of loud talker person, so I agree with you. The amplification helps. The D104 is a good choice. We had, what was the radio earlier with switched to a +2, and it seemed like there was an impedance issue, but the D104s always seem to play well on the tube radios, so a good choice. Nice and loud, and we're adding it to our mix for the Robins tonight.
Awesome. Well, I think on that note, this is going to be kind of a weird thing to say. I think I'm going to kind of back out, and if you're still around after the show, maybe I'll tell you about a little bit more about last week. I'm so paranoid, I don't want to hog up too much time, but everyone sounds great on this radio. I'm sorry, I do not have it mounted in my daily driver car. I don't think there's enough room to have it mounted anywhere in that particular automobile, as a matter of fact. But it sure is a pleasure to use it, especially here in the radio lounge where it's relatively nice and quiet. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, not being distracted by cars driving by or stopping and bugs and antennas that are in questionable locations. So, man, this is great. Sitting down in a nice leather chair and using this radio and listening to everyone else who sounds great, by the way. So, anyways, thanks for letting me check it in, and I think on that I'll send it back to you, sir.
All right, very good. It's doing that little buzzing thing that it occasionally does. Ed has a radio that does the exact same thing, and Kevin his Buddy Bass would make that same, like something is a little over amplifying just in the background, but it is still good. Oh, and 25 words or less, and yeah, I'll at some point get back to the radio here, because I just noticed it's 20 after, so we do need to sign out. That is the radio that we heard last week?
Yes, sir. It's the only one that I ever really take out on the road. I don't have a DC cord for my other Robin. I've been kind of tempted. I do have a little power inverter. I think it's a noisy one. But I do have a DC to AC power inverter that I've been tempted to use on the road. Maybe I will at some point in time. But yes, this is the exact radio you heard from 6,000, about an elevation of 6,000 feet, somewhere between Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Park.
All right, I even listened to that again because that was just, I thought that was really cool the way you played that like you were trying to get a DX station, and I'm sure when I was listening to it, it's like you were in the background and I thought I heard something, and it's like, no. And then again, it was like timed. Okay, someone is timing their transmissions in between what they hear. And then we realized, yes, someone is there. And then it was like, oh man, it's just not strong enough. And whatever you did brought it up just enough. It was perfect. And we grabbed our very rare but coveted portable. There we are. Where's it? 97. Talking about portable stuff again. Our portable transmission from last week. All right, very good. Counting and amounting here. I will sign out. Thanks for those who are staying up late tonight. I know a lot of people, it's hot. They needed to go early. A lot of people are involved with field day and are kind of jumping in and jumping out as they keep doing the field day and try and catch a little bit of sleep. And that goes on through, 11 or 12 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow, whatever that UTC might be. All right, back in a moment. And thanks for radio. Oh, what radio are you? Right to radio number 8.
One more.
This is the one more frequency. Go ahead, sir.
Well, this is my Browning Golden Beagle R68T68. Well, we get up here from Browning Laboratories, just humming along. With the custom D104 microphone with it, the R68T68.
Okay, it sounds different tonight. I was going to ask if you were put a different microphone or were doing something different.
No, same microphone. Same microphone. I'm back a little ways from it. I don't want to be too close because I have to do this over here every time I key this radio up. Okay, that'll be the last one tonight. We'll catch you next week.
All right, sounds good for radio number 9. Oh, I think I know what the thing I'm hearing. I may be hearing anomalies from the range boost, which it probably doesn't need to get to me. All right, thank you for the transmission, and we're counting and amounting.
Roger. Yeah, you don't need the range boost, but Paul and some other people do to hear me. Okay, we'll turn it off. Catch you next week.
Okay, a little bit more noise comes in. What I need is the antenna up in the cedar tree. OTR back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final totals for the old Tube Radio Network. Again, I'm not sure what's happening with the volume levels, and I think it's affecting both the transmit over the air and the Universal Media NetWeb stuff, so I can probably trace it down from that. But I can hear it in the headphoniums and see it on the meter, so hopefully that has not been creating too much of a problem. The old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio is glowing in the dark. Thanks to everyone who joined in tonight, whether you were listening in from whatever device or radio you might be on, or for those who took little time to step into the Radio Shack and brave the heat, at least here in Central California, and get on the air. Tonight we had 9 radios total. We had 72 SWL, 16 on page 1, 16 on page 2, 17 on page 3, and 23 on page 4. Let me switch over to the REA, and I can monitor, see if levels are okay for the transmitter. It looks like it's pretty good for the asymmetrical modulation. Radios. Let's talk about radios. A tie between the Robins and the Brownings for the most heard at 2, meaning that we had a pretty good distribution of manufacturers, and as always, some very interesting items of interest, starting off with Dwayne. A very new radio for his shack, the Robin T240D. Yeah, I got it right. The D104 microphonium, really sounding good. Typically, I hear him on the ICO 762K, which always sounds good, but not as loud as this. He's not that far away, but doing good. Radio number 2, Mr. Green Arrow, and the first of his radios tonight, the Sonar Model E. Found out some good information about that. And let's see, I will have a picture next week. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll put it on, if I can figure out how to get it up on the main page when we reconnoiter everything after the program here. He's got some Sonar Model E exclusives, so we'll add it to that. Thanks, Jimmy, for all your extra legwork on putting things into the page there. Radio number 3, Paul was up on the T-Berry Model T 40-channel radio, which in theory is the Panasonic chassis and probably the better if you're going to find a 23 or 40, and if you're not into 23-channel radios, the 40-channel would probably be the better choice on the T-Berry. Chris was on the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, of course, sounding good with that. The Fleet Courier 30B, Harvey, on that with a little bit of peeking and tweaking, and it worked. It sounds good, looks good, the audio is good, and a reminder, there's replays with the video. You can go to oldtuberadio.net on the main page, click on the archive button at the top, wait for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes for all the little reel-to-reel tapes to load in the OTR magnetophone, and then look for the date, like today's date, and whether it's an SWL check-in or a radio check-in, and then scroll through and hear the audio of your choice. Radio number 6, Jerry out there in Madera Heights on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, a radio that I've had the pleasure of sitting in front of and operating. Green Arrow came by with his second radio, Radio 7, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, with, I guess, the capacitors. The capacitor check, I think he took it to the land of Oz, and it was on the conveyor belt behind the Cowardly Lion, and it got its tubes and its capacitors and sounds really good. You will enjoy the replay, no doubt. Radio number 8 was Mike on the Robin T123B, back from its portable hike up into the High Sierra Mountains, and sounding good here at the base station tonight for the Robin T123B. And then Harvey moments ago on the Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68 for a total of 9 radios tonight. Thanks to those who stopped by and who might still be listening. Still stations from Fresno, San Francisco, California. We've got, they do a good job. Down in the front row, pointing me to what I should be looking at and doing. They stay up very, very late. The UK is in MOLD. I am not familiar with MOLD. Out there near the Broomfield Industrial Estate, or the Brown Coed Park, or the Mold Bypass, but listening in tonight, early Sunday morning, to the Old Tube Radio Network. Hopefully you're enjoying the items of interest, and everybody else. We'll talk to you later. 73, everybody from OTR. Let me go back. Field day is still happening. You can jump in any time. I think 20 meters is probably gone unless you're... No? Here we go. We got some 20-meter activity still open. The band is doing good. On. Trying to see if we can get it.
United States, Victor Kilowatt, 4 kilowatt America, Victor Kilo, 4 kilo Alpha, calling.
And very apropos because we had a Victor Kilowatt station check-in tonight on the Echo link. So they're beaconing in on 20 meters for the field day. It was good to hear Jim coming in on that as well. All right, good night, everybody, from your old tube radio network. We'll catch you next time. I think it will be a pre-4th of July show, so maybe I'll have the windows open wide and turn off the noise gates, and we'll hear all sorts of stuff happening in the background.
Good net, Dennis. Thank you a
lot. Thank you.
Hey, do you have some liquid paper?
Oops, was that to... I was around the other side of the rack. Was that to me?
Yeah, so my hearing is bad. I